more or less 258 and a half passing yards.
I'm going to say more. I like Houston in this game, and I think it's going to be a big moment for young C.J. Stroud not capping off, because if they win it, they'll go to the playoffs. But I think it's going to be a nice national showcase for a guy that's been one of the great stories of the year, and I think he's going to have a big game.
I'm with you, and I think he should be Offensive Rookie of the Year. We can debate that later on. I've seen a lot of that online. Swagoo, let's go to Sunday night. Josh Allen, more or less 2.5 touchdown passes against Miami.
I'm going to go less.
Yep.
We just talked about how this run game has taken effect. Josh Allen has 8 touchdowns since this change on the ground. We look at what James Cook has been doing. I think he has a passing touchdown, but the focal of this team is the run game, and the run game is what's going to help them if they win this game, get in the playoffs, and try to make a run.
Yeah, he could run for some of these touchdowns. If it was total touchdowns, I might feel differently too. Eagles, Mike T, more or less 23.5 total points against the G-Men.
Greedy, I'm going more. I'm not nearly as down on Philly as other teams. They could score on offense, and they could still get to the Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts outplayed Patrick Mahomes last year. Their defense stinks, but this is a team that could score a lot of points, and they have a formula to win on Sunday and go deep into the playoffs.
Okay, so let's stop here, because I've been here all week long. And I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the corner of my eye, but look how much bigger Marcus looks than Dan.
That's why he has to stand here. If we switch places and he's closer to the camera, it would look like he could put me in his pocket.
Can you get my glasses?
Can we get an Apple box for Mr. Graziano, please?
That's what it is. Like, I don't know. I'm doing TV with football players.
Seriously, go ahead, Hembo, bring it in, please.
I'm not going to stand on a box.
Don't do my man like that. Don't do my man like that.
Stand on the box.
I'm distracted.
Don't do my man like that.
I was distracted.
I am what I am.
Okay, one way or another.
My man is who he is, man.
He looks like he could put you in his
It's
pocket.
advantages to both.
Okay, anyway, where was I? Oh, all week long I've been here, and all I've got is everybody telling me the Eagles are awful, their body language is awful, the offense is awful, A.J. Brown is mad, they all walk off the field angry at each other, everything else. And now I got Tannenbaum telling me they could go to the Super Bowl. So, Marcus, what?
They can't go to the Super Bowl. I disagree with that because that defense is awful. I agree with you offensively. Last week you scored 30 points, you lose the game.
Yeah,
that's the biggest indictment on the Philadelphia Eagles defense as anybody. This secondary, they got people running free. It looked like a marathon being ran in the secondary against the Philadelphia Eagles, man.
And secondary, but they got run all over by James Conner and the Cardinals. It wasn't just the secondary.
100%,
They're having breakdowns all over the place.
They are getting Darius Slay back. And again, I'm not saying that's going to change everything defensively, but how do you win in the playoffs? You got to score points. They can score points, and they can rush the passer.
Mike T.
We talk about Dallas.
Problem is everybody else can. Who they going to play? Everybody else can. You are not going to get – the other team's defenses are going to get more stops than Philly's defense. And that's the problem. I think they can score still. Like, I think this offense is terrifying in the playoffs to people as far as how many points that they can put up on the board as long as they take care of the football. But defensively, man, who else is terrified? Dallas is terrifying offensively. Detroit is terrifying offensively. And when you are going into the playoffs with the worst defense, that's the problem for me, man.
So if everything goes the way we generally expect it to go this weekend, the Eagles will be the 5 seed going into the playoffs. They will open at the winner of the NFC South. That certainly feels, as we put the picks up on the screen here. And Graziano, quickly, before everyone loses their mind, tell them why you've got the Giants.
We know that the Eagles cannot win the NFC East. So I'm hedging. I'm taking the Cowboys to win. I'm taking the Giants to win because I am certain that one of those things will happen. That's the only thing I'm certain of, other than the Cowboys won't win the division next year.
Because they cannot be a repeat winner in that division. Hasn't happened in 19 years.
Weird things always happen.
Again, assuming that everything
mess up the game.
So assuming it goes the way we expect it to, that the Cowboys win the division and the Eagles are the wild card, they open at the winner of the NFC South. That's Atlanta. That's Tampa. Feels winnable.
Feels winnable. Feels winnable.
Now
for
you
Philly.
go on. Now you're either at Detroit or Dallas. I mean, they've played Dallas close. Obviously, they beat them one time this year. They can't win that game?
They can. I don't ever say an NFL team can't win a game.
Right.
the odds are against them, no G. And the way that Dak is playing, the way that these offenses have been performing in the NFC at times, this is a scary proposition for the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, they made a defense coordinator change in the middle of the season.
And got worse.
So, and look, I'm going to give the defense credit too, because they did get a pick six against Kyler Murray and put points on the board and still gave up 33 points.
Yeah.
So,
no, the Eagles are this is one of the really confusing, confounding stories.
I just can't believe they are this bad
A
defensively.
lot of turnover on that side of the ball. They lost guys to free agency. They drafted a lot of young guys they had and still have high hopes for, but those that they haven't filled in the way they hoped they would immediately.
Final thought, quick.
Pass rush can mask a lot of those ills.
But they don't have it this year. They rushed the passer like crazy last year. They're not getting home the way they did a year ago. Quickly, Graziano, let's run the hurry up because folks need injury updates as we get set for this weekend. Let's start with Trevor Lawrence. That's your game.
Trevor Lawrence has a shoulder injury, cost him last week's game, first game he's ever missed. He has been able to throw at practice a little bit this week. There's hope in Jacksonville that he'll be able to go for this game, massive game. If they win, they're division champions for the second year in a row. The other NFC South division, their leader is the Buccaneers, and Baker Mayfield has a rib injury. As you can see, that
I wonder why.
He has been able to practice this week, but look, he's going to play in some pain and discomfort, but the expectation is that he will be able to answer the bell and play for the Buccaneers. If they win, they are division champions for what would be the third year in a row. And then Dalvin Cook, pictured here as a Jet, is now a Baltimore Raven. Jets release him from his contract, and he agrees to terms yesterday with the Ravens. He wanted out of the deal with the Jets so he could sign with a playoff contender. He is now a member of the team that is going to be the #1 seed in the AFC. That is everyone's favorite to win the Super Bowl at this point, and we'll see what kind of role he has. He didn't have one with the Jets. We'll see if Baltimore's got bigger plans for him.
He literally didn't have one. He was he dressed last Thursday night and didn't play a snap. But the Jets had no idea how to use him once they lost Rodgers. He will make a play somewhere along the line for these Ravens.
100%. And remember, the Ravens were a three-headed monster at running back before they lost the rookie who was doing a phenomenal job. Explosive is what Dalvin Cook still can be, especially an offense that creates so much space with Lamar Jackson and these receivers. And just from a sheer number standpoint, like having enough guys in the stable, I think Dalvin is a perfect complement to what they're already doing. You got your battering ram in Gus, you got Justice Hill, who's a quick change-up guy, and now you bring an experienced vet in there.
Great move by a great organization. They lose Keaton Mitchell. He's going to help at some point over the next month.
All right, we have so much more coming on this football field.
Hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn tô bức tranh này sao cho đẹp nhất. Mình mong rằng trong quá trình mình tô màu bức tranh này, nếu các bạn thấy đẹp và thấy hay, hãy cho mình một lượt like để ủng hộ mình. Mình cảm ơn các bạn rất là nhiều.
Đầu tiên mình sẽ đi chọn màu để tô bức tranh của mình các bạn. Các bạn hãy theo dõi quá trình mình đi tô màu nhé. Cảm ơn các bạn rất là nhiều.